Hello, welcome to Baron's Game Room. I'm Aaron as always, and hey, let's get back into the normal swing of things by going over another classic game variant spin-off, like
Scrabble SLAM.
Scrabble SLAM is a real-time spelling game for 2 to 4 players. It is one of the easiest games ever in the house, but also simultaneously one of the hardest as well. Let's go over that. Real quick, I'll mention, I've got an older version of the game. This is from like the early 2000s or mid 2000s, something like that. This is a game that I believe is still in print. In fact, I'm almost certain I just saw it at Barnes & Noble last night. So there are newer versions of this as well. If it sounds interesting to you, get yourself one. But yeah, let's talk about how it's played, guys. So the only thing you need for this game is this deck of double-sided letter cards. The very start, what you do is all players will agree on a 4-letter word to start the game with. It has the example of starting with game. So once you decide on whatever word you want to start the game with, you're going to dig through the deck, find those letters, and set them in the middle of the table, like this. I decided to go with the word slam. Once you have your word built in the center of the table, you're going to shuffle up the deck of cards, and then evenly distribute it amongst all players. If there are any cards left that you cannot evenly distribute, such as a remaining 1 or 2 in your group of 4 players, you will end up just setting those off to the side and no one will use those. Once everyone has their cards, take a moment to organize them up, and then you'll start the game. Want to take a sec to show up the cards real fast? You'll notice that in the corner of every card, there are these 2 little letters. Obviously, the big letter in the center is whatever letter this side is, and the little letters show you what letters are on this card. Since, like I said, these are double-sided cards. So, whereas this side is a Z, this side is a K. Real simple. Once everyone has their cards organized and you're ready to go, you'll basically just go, ready, set, it says to say slam. And then everyone will start playing cards from their hand as fast as they can onto the word in the center of the table to make new words. Let's show examples. So once you say to go, players will start looking through their hands and playing out cards like boom. And you'll yell out whatever the new word is. So it went from slam to slaw. That's for my southern folks. Then someone else changes slaw to slow. Then someone else comes in and changes slow to show. And then someone comes in with a blank card. Blanks work just like blanks in the regular Scrabble. They are wild. You can use them as any letter you want. It is now shop. I do want to note that blanks are only wild for the player that first played them. So if I put down the blank and say it's a P, when I said shop, it is permanently a P now until someone covers it up with a different letter. You don't get to suddenly go, well, I'm going to use it as a different letter. Last couple little rules to go over are repeats. You are allowed to repeat words all you want. It is currently shop because I said this was a P. I can play a W and change it right back to show, which someone else could play a P again and change it right back to shop. However, you are not allowed to play the same letter on top of the same letter. So while this is currently shop, I cannot have someone else play a P and to still say it's shop. You must change the word. So as soon as it changes from shop back to show, then you're good to change it back to shop. But you can't just play the same letter on top of the same letter, even if it's a blank. And that really is the whole game. It's just as fast as you can, throw your letters down on the pile and spell little 4-letter words, which sounds really easy, but can also be super hard. And that's the whole thing, which is why I say it's one of the easiest and hardest games I have. For players who are very quick thinking and good at spelling, super easy. For people who might be only good at one of those or good at neither of those, this game can be almost impossible. Before I get into all that, let's talk about how you win, which is just to play out all your cards. That's the game. First player to play out all the cards in their hands wins the game. However, if you end up reaching a point where all players believe they can't spell anything else, you can all say, hey, I don't have anything. Do you have anything? No. Okay. At that point, whichever player has the fewest cards left in their hand wins the game. So me personally, I love the game. I guess am fast enough thinking and decent enough at spelling that I have a good time when I play this game. My mother is so good at spelling games. We play something like Letter Tycoon or regular Scrabble. She would beat me sideways all day long. I never stand a chance against her and stuff like that. But Scrabble SLAM, she just doesn't think fast enough for it. When she has, a turn around the table to look at what she's got and figure it out, she's good. She can even play Bananagrams pretty well because no one's changing what she's working on. But in this game where the word is constantly changing fast, she just can't keep up. So that's what I mean by saying, like, this game is and can be super easy for some people, but damn near impossible for others. So it's hard for me to recommend it as a family game. It's technically how it's advertised on the front. It literally says family right on the front of the box. Gotta super disagree with that, because I'm sure there are a lot of kids who just couldn't keep up with this unless the whole table was of similar speed. You have even one person at the table that's really good at coming up with 4-letter words really fast, it's game over for everyone pretty much. Oh, and one last thing, like in regular Scrabble, if you ever have a word that's contested, you just do a timeout, stop, no one plays any more cards, and you take a sec to discuss the word or look it up in a dictionary or whatever. However you guys would go about playing normal Scrabble and figuring out if a word is legal or not. That's it. Scrabble SLAM can be some chaotic, fast-paced fun. It could also be a total nightmare depending on how your group is built. If you can find a group of similar level thinky speed people, then absolutely Baron approved. If you cannot find a group like that, then it's definitely very middling, maybe even makes its way to a disapproval. But overall, I do think it's a fun game. It's very simple. It's very entertaining to me personally. I will have to finally give it the approved seal.